Welcome to my show. Today we're going to have a look at CIRITH UNGOL. CIRITH UNGOL, early heavy metal band from Ventura, California in '71. The lyrics are based on fantasy, primarily sword and sorcery. Their debut LP, Frost and Fire, went in 1981, and it is considered early power metal, a precursor of doom metal. Greg Lindstrom, Robert Garvin, Terry Fogle, and Pat Galligan, who was later in the Angry Samoans, began as Titanic. They wanted to become heavier, that is, to write music like Mountain and Grand Funk, just like about 100,000 other garage bands in the early 70s. They wanted to do that too. But they left Greg to pursue his muse and found CIRITH UNGOL, named after a confluence of orcs in the Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. CIRITH UNGOL signed with Liquid Flames Records. The first LP was titled Frost and Fire. This is way before Game of Thrones, people. And the second LP was titled King of the Dead. Sound like J.R.R. Martin's ripping these guys off, huh? This may sound like George R.R. Martin, but these themes have been known since the 17th century. And Paradise Lost by John Milton, which coincidentally is the name of a later CIRITH UNGOL album. But CIRITH UNGOL broke up in '91. 2001, Metal Blades Records released Servants of Chaos. It's a compilation album of unreleased demos of CIRITH UNGOL. The studio tapes were deteriorating. Analog tapes do lose clarity after a while, unless preserved somehow. Interest in the compilation album prompted Greg Lindstrom to attempt a reformation. Festivals in the US and Europe were treated to the original throwback sounds of CIRITH UNGOL. The name CIRITH UNGOL literally means Pass of the Spider in Elvish. Tolkien's book pronounced it CIRITH UNGOL with a K, but the band pronounced it CIRITH UNGOL with an S. This caused some confusion with the fans, who decided to pronounce the name Sarah's uncle. Not every fan will have read Tolkien or Moorcock, even though they certainly should. There's no such thing as should. Either you do it or you don't. Here's a disconomocracy. 1. Frost and Fire in '81. Yeah, this is Elric of Molyneux. This is heavy rock. It sounds like Twisted Sister a little. Rated 362 in Hard Rock Magazine's 500 Greatest Rock and Metal Albums of All Time. This is self-released through their own Metal Blade label. Second album, King of the Dead, in '84, also self-produced but released by Enigma Records. Elric encounters the King of the Dead on the sleeve. These are paintings by Michael Whalen. They are also on the cover of the novels of the DAW editions of Michael Moorcock's many, many stories. Johann Sebastian Bach makes an appearance. CIRITH UNGOL feels that this is their best album, King of the Dead. This, the record labels got involved at that point and kind of decided that CIRITH UNGOL had to be a different kind of band because they weren't really keeping up with the times. Yeah, let's change a band so they keep up with the times. How does that work out for you? Bands should choose how they want to be, and other concerns, corporate or otherwise, should not really have much to do with it. If you like the music, go buy it. If you don't, just leave it. And I'm talking to you. Not you. I'm talking to my cat. Wants to cause trouble. Third album, One Foot in Hell in '86. This is definitely a step down, but I recognize the sleeve art from another Stormbringer Moorcock novel. Moorcock is a long-standing favorite author of mine. Coram, Hawkmoon, Elric, many others in the realm of fantasy novels. It's really, really good stuff. Just really have to see that. I mean, if a band wants to use their art on their sleeves, they have permission to do so. I see nothing wrong with that. But go find some of the editions and read them. Oh my goodness. It's better than J.R. Tolkien. It is. The fourth and last album, Paradise Lost, went in '91. And that's the Sailor on the Seas of Fate on the sleeve. And CIRITH UNGOL broke up not long after this album went out. They say Restless Records, the label, is to blame because there was literally no promotion. Metal Blades re-released the album in 2016, which is why we can go and have a listen, because other than that, you're not going to be able to find the first edition of this because it was never really put out there. So I'm just looking for some of more information I have here about CIRITH UNGOL. No, alright, I guess that's it, folks. That's all he wrote. Let's continue on another track. Here are the albums that were mentioned before about a list. This is actually good for East Coast Pete because here's a bunch more bands that I can have a look at for you all. You know, just looks like my palette is full for the next period of time that I continue to want to do this. So these are bands primarily from the 2010s until now. 50, Power Trip. 49, Carcass. 48, Three Teeth. 47, Dream Theater. 46, Amorphous. 45, Black Sabbath. 13. Did you ever hear that album, 13? I've heard good and bad reviews about it. I like it. It's okay. Nice hearing Ozzy back with Black Sabbath, even though it was their last effort of any sort. Like, pass the torch to the many thousands of young bands out there. 44, Rivers of Nihil. 43, Ginger. 42, Evanescence. Wait a minute. Evanescence. Sorry. Evanescence. 41, Between the Buried and Me. That's a funny name. 40, Voivod. 39, Baroness. 38, King Gizzard, and something about some lizard. 37, the Dillinger Escape Plan. I like that one. You know, you got the trains in Muncie. Dillinger couldn't get away from a bank holdup because he had to wait for the train. So he said, let's leave Muncie alone. We're not going to rob their banks anymore. The goddamn trains are always stopping us from getting away. It's a true story. Yeah. 36 is the Hugh. 35, Ammon Amarth. 34, Meshuggah. 33, Sleep. 32, Korn. You know, obviously some of these bands are from before 2010, but I guess this list is showing that these are bands that have come out with albums between 2010 and now. This here's at 31, Marilyn Manson. 30, Lacuna Coil. 29, Architects. 28, Machine Head. Talk about capitalizing on Deep Purple a little bit there. 27, Arch Enemy. 26, Paradise Lost. Apparently that's a band as well as a name of CIRITH UNGOL's fourth album. Will you leave that poor thing alone? You're gonna hurt him. You hurt him and I gotta go to the vet. It's money. You gonna pay for that? Cats don't have money. They just take it. 25, Sabaton. 24, Epica. 23, Opeth. 22, Trivium. 21, Deaf Heaven. 20, Bring Me the Horizon. 19, Slayer. 18, Disturbed. 17, Devin Townsend. 16, Mastodon. 14, Megadeth. Are you freaking serious? God, the natives are restless tonight. Whew. Alright, you want me to change your litter box? Is that it? I just did that a couple days ago. Alright. 13, Avenged Sevenfold. 12, Nightwish. 11, Judas Priest. 10, Behemoth. 9, Iron Maiden. 8, Within Temptation. 7, Baby Metal. 6, Metallica. 5, Gojira. 4, Ghost. 3, Slipknot. 2, Tool. And number 1, Rammstein. Now, I don't know if I'm going to look at every one of these bands. I'm probably not going to do much about Judas Priest or Iron Maiden. Might have a look at Tool. You know, a lot has been said about that band. They live up to their hype. We'll see. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for being with me. Come on back and see me as soon as you can.